Evening, boys.
Gents.
Boys.
I think the viewers today are listening in because they're starved of some motorsport over the weekend.
Definitely.
So we didn't have too much. Jimmy, you got on the IndyCar.
Yeah, I got on the IndyCar train.
I watched a little bit of NASCAR. Obviously, a bit happening with some F1 news, MotoGP news.
I was motocross through the week as well.
I think the big thing was over the weekend was Ben Gisbergen's comments with the V8s.
Yep.
That was interesting listening to him on the podcast. What was the podcast?
Dirty Mo Media.
Yeah, so Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s podcast.
Yeah.
Which
Nice.
it does a really good job, and we see a lot of his stuff on.
Is it kind of new, or has he been around for a while?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure. But legend in the motors. His dad was an absolute legend in NASCAR before he got killed.
And that's really good for Gizzy to get on that as well. It was pretty cool. He's obviously got a lot of respect over there.
Crazy how his dad died as well. They were both racing. They were coming second and third.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So Dale Earnhardt Jr. was coming second, and his dad was behind him third, and he crashed and died. Yeah.
Oh, no
and Dale
way.
Yeah, and Dale, the junior, I think finished second by like a marginal amount. It's a really interesting. We'll clip the last lap in. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to see it or
Is
not.
that
but
from when? Is that how the harnesses start? Was that because of him? You know that neck harness.
they
whatever it is?
were an option back then. He refused to use them.
Oh fuck!
So I think it was 2001.
Oh my god, that's
Imagine
so
being.
full. I've never heard of that.
Imagine
story.
looking in your rear vision mirror and your dad's crashed.
Yeah.
And what I really want you to do is go on his podcast. He actually interviewed the gentleman who found him first. He was another racer. So he was so Dale Earnhardt Sr. was in the middle. He got knocked from the. He was on the left. He got knocked from the middle into the guy on the right, and then into the wall straight ahead, about 244 k's an hour, and broke his neck.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the whiplash motion or something like that.
So it sort of like went up the banking and just went straight in, and then it was just crazy scenes because they got out of the car and everyone. Those big accidents, but normally there's, that sort of accident. There wasn't any rolls. There wasn't any to the cage and that kind of stuff. So, So they just assumed he was okay. It was interesting listening to the commentary because Waltrip, who's a famous commentator's son, won the race.
Ugh.
And he was getting up and about, how good's that? Go Mickey, because Michael, his name was.
Yeah.
Michael Waltrip. So it was just interesting. And he was all up and about. He's like, geez, I hope Dale will be okay, won't he? And the rest is history. So, yeah.
Was he the last person to pass away in NASCAR? Like, has there been any?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Because I know IndyCar Dan Weldon died in
That's right.
2015, same year as Jules Bianchi in F1.
Yeah, geez.
Pretty horror year. And I think that was close to Simoncelli as well. Simoncelli was 2011 death?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, no.
2011,
Jules and Bianchi they were 15, I think 14, 15. So a little bit after that, actually. But
Fuck.
I feel like we went a long time without any deaths, and then
Then there was a couple in
Yeah.
was it 2020. I think there was a Moto3 rider that passed in De Pasquier, and then
Yeah.
and then the F2 driver we touched on a couple of potties ago.
yeah.
So
And this year's been a bit average too.
So we've got a little bit of a beef with V8 supercars.
No, we don't.
Which
I think what we've done is just brought the issue to light.
and you know what you
100%.
you Google supercars now and
It's you bagging them on YouTube.
it's all over the news. And,
It is.
And even I was looking at websites today, and it was like the demise of V8 supercars. So what I wanted to do tonight was to go through the last 10 years and where we got to this point. So bit of a timeline for you. So
I love it.
Settle in for a few minutes, guys. So 2013, we were straight out of high school. 2013, big year. I probably still watch V8s most weekends when it was on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they went to a newer generation V8s, cheaper running costs, and that's when Triple Eight Racing were just winning every weekend. So Win Cup and Craig Lowndes.
And that would have been the VF Commodore. I'm assuming 2012, 2013. Was that? It wouldn't have been.
I think it is.
I think it must have been just the start of the VF.
I think you're right. So new generation's in the VF Commodore. You're right. Yep. 2014, Volvo entered the championship with Scott McLaughlin, famously. Win Cup kept his winning ways. And 2014, they had that famous race at Bathurst when Mostert passed Whincup on the last lap to win when he ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
Remember those days, though? They were prime V8 days.
Yeah.
Look, thinking back at that time, even though Whincup was winning most weekends, dominated that season, it was interesting to just look back at that because I think in my head, yes, Triple Eight Racing's been dominating the last few years, then Penske before that, but there was still some dominating races back then, and it still was enjoyable to watch. So that might not be the problem. 2015, AMG and Nissan came into the championship. Mark Winterbottom won the championship from left field. Ford reduced its commitment money to the series. So that was when it started shifting.
That's when you know something's wrong.
Correct. Yeah.
And I do remember people being up in arms for a bit that it wasn't Ford versus Holden anymore.
Yeah.
You had all this. But then it was interesting because in the comments when we made our video, a lot of people were saying how they thought it revived it as well, having those other manufacturers. So I guess it's still
interesting because for me that wasn't a big like. I'd rather it just Ford versus Holden.
Well, I thought that as well.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd
So it was
rather just be
interesting.
Ford versus Holden.
It was interesting seeing those comments. Going into 2016, Gizzy won his first championship. So Van Gisbergen era. Ford that year provided no financial or technical assistance to the teams at all. Nothing.
Yeah.
So there was no Ford on the car, no nothing. 2017, Whincup came back, won the championship. Team Penske was that was their first year.
Yeah, right.
This was, from my point of view, when the big dogs came in, big money. Penske, big.
Start dropping some big dollars.
And I'm looking back at that moment thinking it might have not been the best thing because they've had this injection money of this team, and obviously Penske, which I'll go on in a second, started dominating after that. It wasn't that, backyard team winning anymore. It was big money was winning. And I think that might have just changed the recipe, call it, for the V8s, where it did change things.
Well, funny you say that. Watching Bathurst, and I'm going to butcher this, but when they obviously go into the pits to change tyres and they'll change calipers, they have that Team Penske and the big teams will have, it's basically just
clip on, clip off.
On. Yeah, exactly right. It's just one motion where the smaller teams, I know they got to get those things out and they got to, I don't know what they
and
do.
how annoying,
separate
how
it, whatever
annoying
it
is that?
And it's like an extra 15, 20 seconds to your pit.
And
that's massive.
Massive.
Oh, man, it's
massive. And think about it. They probably change. I think they only change their brakes probably twice in the race, but 30 seconds is a big time margin.
Yeah.
So Penske nearly won the championship there. It came down to the last race, and Whincup won. So 2018, Gen 2 supercars. So the new Commodore came in.
And that's the Commodore that's not the Australian-built one, yeah?
No, that's the overseas one. Again,
I reckon that's where that lost me.
Yeah.
To be honest, is when that was the overseas Commodore.
Ford still use Falcons, even though they don't make Falcon anymore. Like, they didn't make Falcons back then. You couldn't buy one. Penske dominated. Scott McLaughlin, and this goes from 2018, 2019, 2020, dominated the championship. Big money came in, 2019 is when the Mustang came along. Penske continued on their winning rows I just touched on. And then 2020, COVID. I think another big turning point.
Yeah.
I think a turning point in a lot of world sport. 2021, Scott McLaughlin left. Gizzy started winning again, and then Red Bulls just started dominating. And they did for a couple of years. So we start looking at 2022. I think an absolute dead year. They were still running a Commodore. The Commodore wasn't even sold. You couldn't even buy it, and they were running it.
Was there even Holden dealerships at that
There was
point?
no Holden dealerships. You couldn't even buy a Holden. So you watch it, you're like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
2013 was supposed to be the year. They've come back. They've got Mustangs, which you can go buy. They got Camaras, which you can go buy.
150 grand though.
Well, a Mustang's 60. So, but the Camara's a different kettle of fish. Yeah, 100%. And the Holden fan, that's the big fan. There's bigger Holden fan. The Holden's got a far superior fan base, in my opinion. Gizzy came out and said they're just going round and round.
Yeah.
The tyre pressures are set. There's no one can really have a surprise result because they're all putting the same tyre pressures. They've got the same cars. They're just doing laps. And he came out and said that on the podcast.
Yeah.
He also said, and he touched on politics and behind the scenes is not good at the moment in the supercars. So I hate to say it, it's boring.
Yeah, it is.
It's boring. And we would love to get it back to that winning ways. I mean, how amazing is Bathurst? How amazing is racing around Adelaide?
Yeah.
The sound of the cars, the fans. The fans are the most important thing.
Yeah, that's it.
So the turning point for me, and I wrote this down, the turning point for me was probably the COVID and how that changed things and the domination of Penske. I stopped watching it when they started winning because I didn't want the big team. And I understand that Red Bull's a big team, but I didn't want that big team from America coming to win our championship.
Yeah, that's right.
The thing with domination in teams, though, is it happens in all sport. We're seeing it in MotoGP with Ducati. We're seeing it with Red Bull, with Formula One. We're seeing it with Mercedes and F1. That's not what kills it.
Yeah.
It's, I guess, the type of racing that it is and how it then lays out to the fans.
Yeah.
And then if there's that clear gap between one of those bigger teams, it's not the greatest, but then you lose, I think, fans, especially in Australia, that if they can't go out and buy a Commodore or whatever it is, then you're going to lose them there. And then Holden fans are Holden fans, not Chevrolet fans or Camaro fans. So it's different again.
Different.
You know, and people like the Ford Falcons.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Ford Mustangs, they're cool, but, you know, there's no 18-year-old kids in fucking Gippsland drifting around in Mustangs, are they?
No, that's right.
They like their BA Falcons, mate.
That's it. AU Falcons.
Yeah.
We went to the F1s this year. They ran the V8s. Yeah, the V8s were on, of course.
Yeah.
And they're fun to watch. They are. They're really enjoyable. Like the sound, and they're so big and how they whip them around the track on the chicanes and everything. Awesome. But they're just going to capture the Australian public again.
How do they do that, though? Do you have any idea? Any theories?
Back to Channel 10.
Free to wear is a massive one. Yeah, I agree.
Back to Channel 10. I think that's going to be a massive thing. The more people talking about it, the more people are going to watch it. So, same thing happened with F1. Everyone started watching the thing. Everyone then went to work. Everyone started talking about F1. Yeah. Then everyone goes, "Oh, I'm going to watch it now."
Yeah.
It's
a domino effect.
Your mate goes, "Oh, did you watch the V8s on the weekend?" No one says that anymore. So then I go, "Oh, no, I didn't." But geez, he goes, "Oh man, the championship. You should see it. It's fucking awesome." And look, this year it is pretty close, but yeah. I think that's a big thing, but I don't know.
It needs a whole revamp. It just needs a whole revamp. Like, change the point structure.
Yep.
I think we even changed the racing.
Race 1 and race 2, and I remember you saying this the other day. So, who fucking knows what's going on? The endurance races, it used to be a 500 race. Now it's 250 races.
Get rid of that.
They got qualifying sessions on the Saturday. They got the qualifying sessions on the Sunday. Like, that's what we like about Bathurst, because there's one big race.
Yeah.
And it's such a good lead up to the one big race. Yeah. And that goes back to my point about sprint races on MotoGP. How, I don't know, I feel like it's lost a bit of the build up. But there was another point that came out this week. A big company in South Australia has put a bid towards buying the V8 supercars.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So they own, I don't know if they own I think an energy company or they own a lot of petrol stations and things. So they've just sold a business for $1.2 billion and they want in. So that could be the thing that revamps the sport. Who knows?
Hopefully.
Like
it needs something. It 100% needs something.
But we were in a V8 pit this year at F1s. We got invited by our friend Damo along with him to go into the Newland garage, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Amazing experience. And the cars looked fantastic. They were, and that was a bit of a interesting going there because it wasn't as advanced as probably what we thought. Like it was a small team, two cars, doing everything they can just to get them going, get them out. And they actually went really well on the weekend.
Yeah.
But there wasn't the F1 high-tech bloody wall, all the data on the wall. It was, and I think that's what people really like about it.
You don't need that. It can be raw.
Yeah, it can be raw, yeah.
It can definitely be raw. I think you just need to see personalities. Like, harder V8s when Marcus Ambrose and Greg Murphy were almost at the punch on at Bathurst. It's massive. You need those personalities in there. And you need a rivalry. I guess you just need that rivalry. And it needs to, for Aussies and for Aussies to I think Aussie fans, they cling on to people that they can relate to.
Yeah.
I.e. Daniel Ricciardo. He's just like a normal bloke.
Yeah.
Everyone likes him because he's just a normal fella. You gotta, you have to be relatable. And I don't think V8s is that at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
And get it on a free-to-air.
So we touched on IndyCar before. Did you have some more things you want to talk about?
Yeah, watched the IndyCar series over the weekend. I should say this morning. I watched the replay and Stan.
I think it was on about 2:30 this morning.
Oh, there you go. And it was a crossover with the NASCAR, so it was.
What do you think of the crowds? Look down.
It was down.
Like Indianapolis.
Yeah.
NASCAR and Indy in the one weekend.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know they did that, to be honest.
Yeah, had no idea. Which is a cool concept, really.
Great concept. But yeah, the crowds didn't look too flush on the tally.
The stands, admittedly, could fit so many people in, so it wouldn't take much for it to look empty. But it still didn't look full.
Yeah.
It didn't look like there was many people there. There was a few people on like the inside of the track, whatever.
Yep.
But wasn't much going on. So
they used to race the F1s there.
Yeah.
On that track.
They weren't on the embankment though.
Yeah, they were.
No, the Indy cars.
Really?
Yeah, they cut in before the embankment. Then they had like a little street circuit bit. And then it was like cut straight onto the straight. There's like a little chicane bit.
No way.
Yeah, so they went on the embankment.
Because that caused all the controversy back in 2005.
With the tyres.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Tyres, yeah.
That's a good throw it back,
yeah, it is.
That one.
Mm.
So, yeah, Scott Dixon won, which was cool. He's been around for like 20-something years.
Shit.
You know, he was racing in like 2003, we were saying.
I wonder, we always talk about the Lawrence brothers, how they get no recognition. I wonder what kind of recognition he gets in New Zealand.
Yeah, true. I forgot he was Kiwi.
Good point.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not much. Oh,
but things like Ryan Briscoe, Will Power,
yeah,
like they've had pretty good results over the last 10 years.
Yeah,
they don't get much shout down in Oz. So
no, they definitely. I remember hearing about Will Power actually growing up on the news.
Cool name.
Yeah, great name.
Will Power.
Got none of it.
Yourself?
Yeah.
I can't, bruh.
No, we're not going back to Dan's Republica therapy session, are we?
No. We already did that before this.
Yeah.
You missed your opportunity of that one, Dan. You know what you're talking about.
If you know, you know.
And then our boy Scotty McLaughlin, 8th.
Yep.
Which is cool. And Will Power, 6. So it was interesting. I've never really watched it before.
They move around a lot, the cars, don't they?
Yeah, they do dart around. It's a big field.
Yeah. On board though, they're always on those road circuits. They're fighting the car the whole time.
Yeah, I did notice that actually. Yeah. They were fighting the car heaps. So it was good. It was something different to watch. It'd be hard. It must be the American market must be so hard to win over. Like they've got so much, you know, like IndyCar with NASCAR, then you got the Formula One, and then all their other sports. Like NFL, NBA, whatever it is, ice hockey they love. Like, so trying to break into that, even with IndyCar.
It's tough market.
Yeah, like that Sunday afternoon or whatever it is, you know, there's only so much you can watch. And if you got NFL on at the same time or basketball, I don't know. I don't know how it all crosses over. I think one finishes and then one starts, whatever. But
you'd think so.
You know, it's a hard market. But it was cool. Romain Grosjean was in there. Your boy Tom, 18th. Yeah, I don't think he did too well.
Where did the MotoGP went to Indianapolis as well, didn't they?
Yeah,
yep.
And they used that track that they must have used on the weekend because they wouldn't have gone up on the banking.
They didn't go on the bankment.
Yeah,
it must be something similar to that.
Yeah,
from what I can remember. And remember on the
I don't remember that. So 2015 is probably the last time they raced there because Coda was 2016 and after, I think.
I remember. I'm pretty sure. Did Mark Marquez? I'm sure Marquez raced there, but then I remember him racing at Coda.
No, I don't reckon. I reckon it might have been before that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe 13 might have been.
No,
the last time.
I have a memory. I have a memory of Marquez racing there on a MotoGP bike for some weird reason.
Yeah, I remember that. First race 2008, last race 2015.
There you go.
Most wins Mark Marquez. 5.
5. Yeah.
Loves the American circuits.
I think I might have a answer to why the crowds are probably down.
Yeah.
The Indy obviously have the Indy 500 in May. But 2 weeks before that, they actually have a race at the same track. They just call it something different. So this week it was called the Vizon 200.
I saw that.
Yeah, so they've gone to the same track 3 times in one season. So obviously everyone's going to go to the Indy 500. They've already probably gone early in the year to the other road
I was
course.
wondering why they were calling it something weird.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a sponsor thing or whatever it is.
I think the Indy 500 still, they're all about sponsors, the Yanks.
You know what I did pick up on is it's so funny compared to the Formula One cars and Indy cars. Is the Formula One cars, there's obviously heaps of sponsors on it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of done neatly.
Yeah.
But the Indy car, there's like a millimeter of space. There's a fucking sponsor on there.
It's all slapped there.
It's so American. But I kind of like that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
It's their way to do
American.
it. But yeah, that's my talk on IndyCar, to be honest.
Cool. Nice. So Formula One, still quiet. Everything's sort of quietening down a little bit, obviously, over the summer break. But got some trade rumours and some sponsor rumours for next year.
Oh, right on.
So we all know that obviously Alfa Romeo are pulling their sponsorship this year from the Sauber team.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going to happen with Sauber until 2026 because that's when Audi jump on board. So that's probably a watch this space James Shaw thing. But Haas is reportedly in talks with Alfa Romeo for next year as a new title sponsor.
Oh, okay.
So Alfa Romeo, and they're actually similar colours anyway, but Alfa Romeo branded Haas, which would be interesting as American team taking on a Italian manufacturer as a sponsor.
Yeah.
But I think Alfa Romeo, popular everywhere in the world. I'm assuming it would be popular in the States, so might be a good match. Rumours at this stage. Hamilton and Mercedes still haven't come to an agreement on a contract.
I have heard that.
way.
Yeah.
So rumours are building. Charles and Lando would be great replacements, I reckon.
Yep.
I'm not sure if they've been in contact with any of them, but apparently Charles has come out and said that he'd definitely take a Mercedes seat. Ferrari have come out and said they want to offer Charles a big extension to the contract to 2026.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens there. Lando still has 2.5 years to run on his McLaren contract, so I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. And that's their boy as well.
Yeah, that's a poster
That's
boy.
who they're banking on.
Yeah.
And Mick Schumacher, possible replacement for Logan Sargent.
I did see that.
So we'll see how that goes.
I did see somewhere about Hamilton looking to go on for like another 5 years. I don't know if I was just...
God, no.
Hang them up.
It's going to be like, for me, for some weird reason, I enjoyed watching MotoGP when Marquez was winning because I wanted him to lose.
Oh, yeah. It's
I love
you love
It's
hurting
fucked.
yourself.
I know. I think
It's like BDSM or something like that.
It's something in my psyche that goes like, now Verstappen's winning and I've loved him for so long. Now I'm like, oh fuck, it's boring to watch.
Yeah. That's such a you thing.
It is such a me thing. So I don't imagine how it is for other people watching the F1. If I think it's getting a little bit too
long in the tooth,
as they say. So yeah, not much on the F1 front, but obviously summer break we'll have some huge news and stories coming in closer to the first race back. So
what is the first race back? What track?
Zandvoort.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. It is too.
Deutschland.
Pencil Max in.
Dutch. Pencil Max in. Yeah. Well, it's a very unusual track. He's absolutely dominated there, though. Absolutely dominated there. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's always a good one to watch.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously the orange army.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's nuts.
And I remember, I think Lando got a podium last year, and he goes, "Oh, it's nice that everyone's come out and supporting the Papaya team," which I thought was funny. So yeah, we'll see. But over the next few weeks, we're not going to have a lot of F1 chat because we can't just talk about the same thing all the time. So just hang tough for the F1 fans watching.
That's it.
You might learn some things about Indy. Might learn some things about the controversies of V8. Might learn some things about even MotoGP. We've got a lot of people who have started to watch the MotoGP now who are F1 fans because they've been listening to the pod and they've enjoyed our insight. So
nice. We might even get them on some superbike trainers.
yeah, don't want to overdo it, but one step at a time.
It's wishful thinking, right?
Yeah, 100%. On that note, is any news out of the superbike camps?
Nah, not a lot. Not really. Nothing major.
Gotcha.
So It's all
standard.
All right, move along.
pretty standard.
Move on. All right. MotoGP.
Look, there's heaps of rumors going on, to be honest.
Anything going to stick, though? Is there anything that looks...
Don't know about your...
Mark Marquez to Grassini's looking less likely.
Yeah.
But I'm still Hail Mary might happen.
I don't think so.
No.
I can't see it happening.
That's fine.
No, it's not going to happen.
Well, one of them signed. So I was halfway there. I call that a win in my book.
Half the crystal ball.
Yeah, you're crazy. There is one thing, I guess, of supers is Bautista is going to race in Sepang as a wild card.
Yeah, coming to MotoGP. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting, and I can't wait to see how he actually does.
I think he'll do okay.
What do you think? I reckon he's going to do a top 10.
I think he's a lot more mature than when he was already in GP, albeit he didn't have the greatest bike.
Yeah.
But I think now he's learnt a lot more about his riding style and how to go about winning races and being consistent. So I think top 10 is probably a good shout, especially on that bike.
I'm so excited for that. And it's going to add an extra dynamic to that race.
Yeah.
So going the other direction, imagine if a MotoGP bike, MotoGP rider, wild card on a superbike.
Well, Simoncelli did it.
Simoncelli.
Yeah.
He won, didn't he? Or got seconds?
Podium in Imola.
And I'll bet you that was probably one of the most watched races in superbike history.
I got 18 people watching.
Get that up. Yeah, it went from 18 to 36. No, Jimmy, you fucking encouraging me.
I gotta prod him.
I know. Sorry, Dan.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Legend.
Legend. But yeah, he was he almost won race 1 but stacked out. He dropped his bike. He was on the Aprilia.
Yeah. I remember that.
Is that there's got to be something in contract. The contracts is probably the big thing. So if he goes on a superbike and then bins it and then can't race in the MotoGP team, that's got to be a big thing as well.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
I think he might have been 250s at the time
he
when
was,
he went across.
He was 250s because he was on Aprilia.
Right, okay, that makes more sense. Because I couldn't imagine if Bautista come and race at Sepang and then crashed and then couldn't complete his...
I think they might be done by then.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That's why he's allowed to do
it. He'd probably have the title wrapped up by then
There's got to be something in the contract that says that because it's just too dangerous.
There's only 4 more rounds of supers left or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah, not many.
So yeah, you won't have to hear me talk about it after that.
They seem to be racing every second weekend though. Like it seems pretty consistent. How many races are there for a year?
Gee, that's a good question.
Would there be 15?
Around that.
Maybe the season's a bit more like compacted.
It is, yeah.
Because MotoGP starts pretty
March
all the way till November.
Yeah, because it's always like a 3-week break till Valencia usually.
And remember, Supers has 2 full-length races.
Yeah. Yeah,
and a sprint race. So
it's a lot of racing. I mean, as you said, it's for the races.
Yeah.
We touched on Grassini before. They've signed with Ducati till 2025 as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because obviously, who knows what's going to happen with VR46 if they're going to stay with the Ducatis or not.
Yeah, what's going to go? What is happening with that? I heard rumors 2025 switch to Yamaha.
I think it'll happen.
I think you're right, and I think it makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense, especially now with the way the market's playing out. When you look at it with Bezzecchi, he's now been given a deadline as well by the bosses at Ducati to go, well, basically choose Valentino or choose a full-fledged factory bike. It's your decision.
Is that the ultimatum?
That's the ultimatum.
You choose a Pramac because then you're going to end up on a Yamaha anyway.
100%. So, but I think the way it's all panning out, it'd be silly for Mooney not to go to run a Yamaha.
They need to do it. It would be good for the sport anyway.
It will. It'll be amazing for the sport.
Yeah.
And it's Rossi back on Yamaha.
Yeah.
Because now a couple months ago he signed on as their
ambassador.
Yeah. So it's all playing out.
You know what I'm excited for? Next year, Pramac, Bezzecchi and Martin together on the same bike. Are they going to be on the same bike? Both factory bikes?
Both factory bikes.
4 factory bikes. Yeah.
Yep.
Have they must limit you're only allowed 4 factory bikes per team. Per manufacturer.
So, yeah.
There must be a rule behind that. Otherwise, they'd give all 6 of them factory bikes, you'd assume.
If they could afford it,
that's the other thing, if they can afford it.
Ducati.
No, well, it's back to then like Grassini or LCR Racing if they got the funds.
Oh, they got to spend the money on the bike. Right. Yeah. Right. Gotcha. Good point.
Yeah. So that's where that comes into play.
And speaking of factory bikes, KTM is still pushing for another team.
So that's fact.
Yep.
And they're in talks with Dorna. Okay.
Just about once a week. Once a week. They want at least one bike.
So a brand new team, you're saying?
Well, just a bike. So either they put a third bike into a team, but they would like a new team.
They would like a new team. So have ride like a Husky or something.
Yeah. And then either have a dedicated one for Pedro Acosta. So like Rossi had with that Honda when he first came into 500s.
That's massive if that happens, eh?
Yeah.
But why wouldn't Dorna want another? Like, more bikes on the grid makes more sense.
I know.
Like, it looks it just would be so much healthier for the sport.
So they said they would prefer, I believe what I read is they prefer to have one bike just for Pedro. Yeah. But if they want to have two, they'll have two bikes. So KTM.
But who would be their second rider?
Marquez.
Take Marquez out of it.
You reckon? I reckon Pol Espargaro would go across.
Yeah, but he's still going to have a vacant seat somewhere.
Drop Miller down, and then Marquez will go across to Red Bull. KTM.
Yeah, I'm saying if Marquez didn't want to go, who would you put in there?
Well, if he didn't want to leave Honda.
Yeah.
Well,
but I'm saying...
can't answer that. He wants to leave Honda.
No, but Marquez is still a year on his contract. Are you saying to me if KTM got two bikes, Marquez is gone?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
And Honda said they'll let him go.
Yeah, they would?
Yeah. They said we don't want someone here that's...
Fuck, so that's happening then. Surely Dorna are going to do this. Like, imagine seeing the young Spanish kid with the fucking old foe on a new fucking team in KTM, how mint that would be.
Bro, massive.
Like, are they...
And remember...
Too much paella or what? Like, come on.
$17 at Phillip on that paella.
Well, Miguel's going to be there making his own paella, so it's going to be a bit of a who's got the best one this year. So it's going to be quite interesting. We'll have to do on the food TikTok Republica. We'll have to do a comparison.
So yeah, I did call that. I've done a T-Shavs, and I did call them both in the same team. How many months ago? And I've been copping flack off you two for the past.
Yeah, he read it in the news, repeated it on the podcast.
Yeah, I was in the pit lane, like actually just listening in on conversations.
Simon Craver. Well, man, that's just going to inject so much excitement into the sport if that happens.
Man, yeah, if you had Marquez and Acosta.
All right, answer me this: who goes to Repsol then? They need a rider. Because would you just leave Mir and?
You'd have Mir.
Oh, fucking! Who's going to want to go?
Lecawona.
That'll probably be the ticket.
Yeah,
but that is just a weak team. It is
though. You got no choice. You got no choice. Who wants to go there?
No one will want to go.
A world champion with a big asterisk next to it.
That's fair.
Like Richmond's 2020 premiership.
Don't say that, mate. Just
same thing. COVID years don't count.
You concentrate on winning a final. I'm not going to do it this year either.
No, it's a battle of who's going to finish 13th between our teams.
Yeah, it is.
Footy Republica,
yeah. Don't even get me started.
Oh man, I can't stop thinking about that. How good that will be with Costa, Marquez.
Remember, I put my shares in. I've put my order in for Husky merch.
Yeah. Well, watch this space.
You'll be waiting for it, I think.
So you don't think this is going to happen?
I don't think Marquez would go to Husqvarna. I think, like I said, it would be a matter of like Pol Espargaro getting booted across there. And then
you reckon
they'd drop Miller.
I'm pretty sure he's come out and said though he doesn't care what.
What
I
colours.
understand he doesn't care what colours he's in, but fuck, like.
Or do you think KTM would
rather him on there? You really think KTM would rather see a Husqvarna win a championship? Let's be realistic here.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I mean? Pip Byron, all those blokes, they don't want to see a white and blue with a bit of fluorescent.
But Marquez is not. Marquez, if he goes to KTM next year, he will not win a championship. Mark my words.
Who?
Pardon the pun.
What?
If Marc Marquez goes to KTM next year, he will not win a championship. Mark my words.
I don't think he would either, but they would rather it on the KTM if he were to do it.
Yeah. That's a crazy statement, though. How many people would have said that when Rossi went to Yamaha?
Different. Rossi's different kettle of fish. Don't even compare the two.
Don't. It was
chalk and cheese, mate.
Yeah. Let's talk fucking real. I think he could. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
I'm telling you, on their day, Equal Machinery all fit. Marquez is the best rider on the grid.
Yes.
Okay, at the moment.
Actually, Dan and I had this conversation before. At the start of the year, my 1, 2, 3 for riders was Marquez, Quartararo, Pecco. But now I think it's Marquez, Pecco, Quartararo. It's still the best 3. I still think Quartararo's third. Just dealt a really bad bike.
Yeah.
And Bezzecchi right on him in 4th.
No, see, I'd put Martin.
Or Martin, yeah. Fuck. It's close, isn't it?
And I'd probably put Binder in front of Bez.
Really?
Well. Yeah.
But Bez is on an old bike.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe it's a soft spot for Binder. But I've always thought he's extremely talented. You're talking raw talent.
Raw talent on their day.
Yeah, you're right, but raw talent. Binder's the rawest of talents going around.
That's true. He's Mr. Sunday.
He's Mr. Sunday.
But Binder is similar. Like Rossi used to never qualify that well. I bet you.
But he also never qualified that bad either.
What I'm saying
he was always like middle or second row.
His pole to win ratio would be so off cue.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where you look at someone like Quartararo, he would only win when he would get pole and win.
And that's so many different factors as well. That's aero now that's come into it.
Yeah.
Well, he was Mr. Pole.
Yeah.
At one stage.
Remember his 1 lap pace always had it at the end.
But I feel like all the greats didn't.
How good is it in MotoGP when they think it's over?
Yeah.
At the end of the qualifying, they're like pack it up, and then boom, like Zarco's gone 3/10 quicker. Like he just passed. Like that's the best thing about MotoGP qualifying.
You've said this before, but they've got the weekend down pat. I know you poo now sprint races, but every session is exciting.
Oh, I prefer it last year, 100%.
It's interesting.
No, because it was already exciting. That's the thing. How exciting was they fought to get into Q1 and they had qualified.
But they still got that plus a sprint race.
Yeah, but now it's a bit like it's turning into I'm watching them. Are they actually qualifying for this? Like it's just too confusing. Practice 2 is not practice 2. It's actually practice 3.
Okay, keep going. It's turning into V8.
Yeah. They'll turn you get 1,200 points for a win and 17,000 points for a fucking fastest lap. Why do they do that in V8?
It's so crazy.
Oh, you won the championship with 3,500 points. Seriously, make it 25 points for a win.
Yeah, just make it simple.
Talk about confusing the fans. I mean, normally V8 fans aren't bloody rocket scientists either.
And they're normally,
they're blue collar.
8 JDs deep.
Yeah, they're blue collar, bloody hard working fellas. Just want to hear some bloody, 8 cylinders running around. So. How do you follow that?
Well, you can't.
Tough. Yeah,
it's tough.
Speaking of JD, eBay is looking to be the new title sponsor of VR46.
Yeah, because it's actually really prominent, their sponsorship on their bikes. Yeah. On the leather, I think.
Is that new, though? Or has that been there all year?
No, it just came in.
I reckon it came in a couple of races ago.
Yeah. So that would be cool. An eBay VR46 bike.
So Mooney will still be a co-sponsor, but it's got something to do with their previous owner or whatever leaving to Pagani. So
what does Mooney do?
I wouldn't even know.
Cam Mooney, forward for Geelong Cats?
Yeah, probably is. Got knocked out in fucking boxing by Bellchambers.
Tom Bellchambers, yeah.
I was there for that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually.
Jeez, you get around.
Yeah, I
know. If anyone doesn't know Dan, he does everything.
Not good at anything.
I'll be like, hey, Dan, what are you doing on the weekend? Oh, nothing, mate. And he's bloody out tractoring a bloody farm up at Heathcote or something.
Yeah, he sends me a message last night, 11:30, pulled a CR500 apart.
Yeah. You're at a race meet yesterday. Your mate's race meet.
Supporting me, mate. Shout out James. He came third in the novice race and first overall.
Oh, nice. Well done, James.
500s or something. So shout out Burgies. Good work.
Let us know if you need some sponsorship, mate. We'll slap a sticker on the side.
He has this. He actually won.
Give you $5 and a sticker.
He won best presented bike.
Really?
That's cool.
So he's on the KTM 390, and it's actually really sick. I went to help him put all this vinyl wrap on it. He ripped the side that I did. He ripped it off. It was real shit, but That's a good looking bike.
What waterproof stickers we've got as well, so they're high quality.
Yeah.
I think he needs to get them on there.
Yeah. Well, you add like an extra 5 horsepower for each sticker.
Yeah, it's the aerodynamics around it and stuff because the waterproofness.
That's we'll go into depth on our engineering podcast.
Yeah. That hurts me.
Sorry, I gotta go off topic. MotoGP news.
That's all I really got. And then Zarco reportedly, I think you said his managers contacted LCR and
So that's how that came.
Big payday.
Yeah, so you were saying that, or one of you guys was saying about the payday. Sorry, but yeah, Zarco's manager approached LCR, and then one of you guys touched on him being offered like mega money to go across.
Double.
There you go.
From Pramac.
That's massive.
But LCR, Luca Cecchinello, obviously. What's their major sponsor? Do they have a major sponsor?
Givy.
Is it Givy?
It changes between races. It's
right.
Givy and then Castrol for a few.
I love
That's
it
right, Castrol,
That Castrol.
And then
the
obviously
best.
what's the Japanese sponsorship for
let it try.
Ichibeya?
Inamitsu
Honda, sorry. Our boy Tako Naka Gami. So they run the Japanese sponsor.
Yeah.
And I bet you that sponsor would be like, there has to be a Japanese
rider.
Yeah. And they would probably get a mint amount of money from that.
They do. There's a kickback on that.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's a wasted seat. We say this every episode.
That's almost like a paid seat.
It is.
So like with F1 paid drivers, it's a similar concept.
Yeah.
And then I think that has to be the only one in GP, surely.
Besides, it's not paid, but besides VR46, it would be Italian. But that's really
different.
Same but different.
Yeah.
In the academy.
Yeah.
Have to be in the academy. Well, you don't have to be, but I mean, every rider has been, obviously.
Yeah.
It'd be silly not to have an academy rider in there.
Yeah, so it's what it's for. It's to get the young guys in.
I reckon Repsol would almost want a Spanish rider in there.
But they've already got Mia.
I'm just saying, if they didn't, that would be a part of their contract. But it's so easy to get a good Spanish rider, so...
Yeah, exactly. Well, especially now that we're starting to see the resurgence of the Spanish...
They're dominating.
Riders, they're really dominating everything else. Like, alright, let's... Hypothetical, Marquez moves on, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Repsol approached someone like an Alonso Lopez.
Yeah, that's a great point.
You know what I mean? Like, or... I highly doubt Canet, but... You know, if they did approach someone like that and go, you know what, fuck it, we got the seat, no one wants it, come on, like.
Yeah, that's a great. I would go an Alonso Lopez over an Iker Lecuona.
Yeah, 100%. I would too.
I think Aaron Canet has to get a chance.
I think he's got real talent and speed. He's just a bridesmaid.
He's just unlucky.
Yeah, he's just got that missing X factor we always talk about.
But it's not like he's losing by. It's like a battle. It's always, if he's second, it's like 3 seconds back.
Yeah.
You know, someone will just pull away in the last 6 laps and he just can't keep up.
Look, he's been a lot better this year. Last year, he got into those situations and then would either bin it or make a mistake and cost himself positions.
Do you remember in Moto3 at Jerez, I remember you were watching it because it pissed you off so much. He skittled half the field going down the back straight.
He took this ridiculous inside line.
It
like he was 4
like
wide or something.
2018 or something.
Yeah, and I always hated him since this. And he braked way too late.
It was
he goes, I'll just dip it in. Dips it in. Bang. 4. Just bang. Like dominoes.
Skittled.
But it was the most...
everyone.
I think he got a week... You got a race ban or something.
No, maybe back
or
of the grid.
2 long laps. No, there wasn't long laps back then.
I reckon it was back of the grid.
We'll clip that in. Aaron Canet.
Aaron Canet dive bomb.
Dive bomb up the inside.
Man,
that was I actually talked about it for years after that.
Yeah,
you hated it, but I finally...
You come around
to him.
I can't stand that wooden bow tie he wears.
Yeah, right.
Does he still wear it?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck. That's such a curse doing that, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to break... If you keep finishing second or something like that, you got to break traditions. You got to change things.
And riders are so suspicious.
Superstitious.
Suspicious. Maybe they are suspicious.
Yeah, they would be.
Superstitious. They are. But yeah, that's all I've got for GP anyway.
Cool.
I just got a little thing on...
what about you?
Raul Fernandez.
Raul Fernandez, yeah.
So he's got like an option for another 2-year contract after his expires with Aprilia or with RNF.
Yeah.
Whoever they decide to be with afterwards. So that's an interesting one. I don't know how long they'll keep him around. He hasn't really done much. Like, second year in, he hasn't hit his straps like, say, like a Bastianini did.
And he's not happy.
Year. Yeah, he's not. He's messing up heaps. And
I think he said he wouldn't mind going back to Moto2.
So yeah, that's a smart move.
It's a dangerous move, but
man, Remy Gardner should all be on that sheet, I reckon.
Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they're always going to pick the European.
Again, it's the conspiracy.
But I think, when that Moto2 year, when obviously Fernandez and Remy Gardner had their battle, I think Fernandez was probably looking back at it, maybe the better rider for that year.
He was a faster rider.
He just made some silly mistakes.
Dumb mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iagura style? No, was it Iagura?
I don't think anyone can do an Iagura style.
That was full on.
That was Sepang as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's always a good race weekend. Sepang.
It is,
There's always something that's thrown up closer to the championship.
Yeah. I missed that track for F1. That used to be an awesome track.
Oh, don't go there. Don't do they? Wasn't that built for F1? Isn't that why they built it?
Definitely an F1 track. Like, if you compare F1 tracks to MotoGP tracks, it's definitely an F1 track.
It works for GP, though.
It does. That last corner, how's the different lines they take?
Yeah.
Remember they resurfaced the last corner and they were taking the wide line, someone taking the inside line?
That's a fucking great call.
Yeah.
That's a great call.
It's a very wide track.
Yeah,
You'll notice a lot of MotoGP tracks are quite narrow
compared to that.
And then we look at the wide tracks more for F1.
Yeah. It does deliver great racing, though. Sepang. Underrated track, actually, for the bike.
For the bikes, yeah. It's long.
Yeah. It's a 2 minute.
Yeah, 2
minute lap or 1:58.
I think the Moto3 bikes would probably do 2:30 laps.
They do like a 2:15.
Yeah, right.
I think like Moto2 is like a 2:08. GP is like a 1:58 or something.
Yeah.
Because they just get so much extra speed down those straight. Those two straights.
Yeah, there's certain parts on the track. I don't know if the twos are quicker or they can carry more speed through certain parts.
Yeah.
Being a smaller and lighter bike.
There's a corner. It's a nearly a flat out left hander before the back straight. It's an awesome corner. That's
corner.
Probably where the Moto2 bikes would be faster.
Yeah,
I'd say because then it's a direction change to the right. You got to run it out wide, get into the inside of the apex. Yeah. I learned a lot of my riding skills from the people.
Oh yeah.
Is that where you found the limit of your Tuono?
Yeah. So Tuono's gone. Sold to Tuono. So on the hunt for a new bike. So I don't know what I'm going to go for. I might stick with driving my car for a while, I think.
Get it dirty, mate.
Yeah, get a dirt bike.
Yeah, we need to do something. Imagine getting a dirt bike and then, redoing all the sticky kit, Motorsport Republica. That'd be sick.
If anyone's like us, any potential sponsors like Gas, KDM, some of that, listen out.
Just three 350s. Yeah. That's fine.
That's all we need. That's all you keep it stock. We'll do the suspension ourselves, something like that. Don't worry about it.
And we're also looking for a beer sponsor while we're at it. That'd be good. Any local breweries want to sponsor us? All we ask for is one slab a week. That's it. One slab a week. It's going to cost you $50. We'll give you a shout out. We'll probably send you this video. One, we'll have your can sitting there. So one slab. That's it.
Hey,
that's all I ask for. We'll come and pick the slab up. It's fine.
Yeah, you never know if you don't ask, eh?
Exactly right.
Will you pick the slab up though? I don't know if
we'll send
you outside of Diamond Creek.
We'll send an Uber driver to pick it up. You can bring it over. Maybe just send it as well. $15 a set, it'll be fine. We'll pay the shipping. Shit. Now, Dan, I want to hear this. I've been waiting all night for this.
Right.
I want a throwback.
I've been waiting all week for this.
Yeah. Dan's throwback, everyone.
All right. So
play the jingle.
Play the jingle.
Dan's throwback.
So my throwback's a bit of a different one. It's the 96 Jerez Grand Prix. I will throw it up on the screen. So I was not born, so I didn't watch it live.
We were one.
There you go. Do you guys remember it vividly?
No. I was, one or two.
Paint the picture for us.
So I've probably touched on it before. I'm a massive Mick Doohan fan.
Yep.
I should have brought the boot in.
Oh, I knew I left something. I actually had it out too.
Oh.
Anyways.
Fill the listeners in. What are you talking about?
So I've got a signed Mick Doohan boot at home that I keep forgetting to bring to
that's right. James tried to get his thing signed. Didn't get it
signed. And then James got barred.
We've already got that video clipped, I reckon.
Yeah.
So a massive Mick Doohan fan. Going through and watching some pretty iconic races of his, and so like I said, 96 Jerez.
Talk about a MotoGP track.
Oh man,
to a T.
Now, if I don't know if it'll show it in this clip, but you should see the crowd here. They are on top. Like when I tell you on top of the hill, it is fucking unreal.
Yeah. I think it's my favorite. I actually think it's my favorite MotoGP track.
After watching more and more videos and more races and really paying attention to it, it is an unreal track.
It is amazing.
Putting the crowd and the track into it. I think Phillip Island's a better track, but I think putting the crowd in it, the history of it, Jerez is the biggest weekend. One of the biggest weekends of the year.
First of the flyaways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good for that.
Like,
the cream rises to the top usually.
Yes, as James would say. So an awesome battle anyway throughout a lot of the race between Crivier, Doohan, Luca Cadalora as well. So this is the last 2 laps.
Okay, so what's happened from the start till now? Any major incidents?
So there was a couple
So Doohan's chasing.
There was a good battle between him and Cadalora. They touched a little bit.
God, the bikes look good, don't they?
Yeah. Nothing major.
How good does a 1 look on that bike?
Oh, don't even get to start. The Repsol, best looking Repsol.
That's the best Repsol with that
Why is
Louis
it
green.
It just looks so good. It was like meaty at the front.
It's real prototypes.
Yeah.
And you can see Crivier on some of the laps coming out of corners. This thing's almost trying to buck him off.
So they're teammates?
There's 4 Repsol Hondas that year.
Okay.
So in that one stage on lap 3 or 4, they were all 3 of them. They were the top 3.
So they're running 2 teams, or is it one big team?
One big team.
Really? So 2 garages, but
even Yamaha had 4 bikes.
Yeah.
With the rainy.
Oh, right. So that was sort of normal back then.
Yeah.
This is like the heyday
of
Japanese.
Look at the 4 exhaust pipes.
Right, it's mint.
So it was unreal. Crivier got out to a pretty big lead after he passed Cadalora.
Look at the different riding style of Doohan. He's like sitting.
Watch. Is
that people on the track?
Bro, watch this. This is fucking nuts.
How mad is that?
Look, they're in the sand track. Look how dangerous that is.
What's going on? So
they've just invaded the track.
So that's the 3rd sector. This is going to the last sector now.
Look.
Oh my
and it slowed Crivier up. It
did, 100%.
It cooked him.
Yeah. And then the best corner.
Oh.
God, he doesn't even cover him, does he?
Oh. So there's a little touch.
Watch. And
bang, see you later.
Oh, no.
But it is it could be one of the top 3 best last laps in Grand Prix.
Unreal, right? So, Doohan punts Crivier. Well, doesn't punt him. He takes the line.
Yeah.
Crivier gave him the
He gave him the room. 100% he gave him the room. I would have covered the inside.
But it's a 500 just biting back if he's trying to get on the power.
So that was the first time all race Doohan showed him his front wheel.
Yeah.
Wow.
So last lap, last corner, unreal.
Capirossi.
And this field was actually pretty stacked too. There were some real good riders.
Puig.
Yep.
Fuck.
So, it's just an unreal race to watch. A lot of good back and forth. Okada and Cadalora had a really good back and forth for a few laps.
Darryl Beattie crashed out, your boy.
So Beattie ran off.
So what was Beattie on? Was he on a
Lucky Strike?
Lucky Strike, yeah.
So he had come back from a pre-season injury.
Yep.
I believe this might have been one of the first races back for him. He'd come back, ran wide, stacked the next lap. Then a couple rounds later, he had another big stack, and that ultimately ended his career.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely unreal. Like I said, Crivier got out to a massive lead, and then Doohan just kept pegging it back. Then it was just them 2 running at the front, and Cadalora came up and almost overtook Doohan again. Unreal. And I had to laugh because the commentators were like, oh, Doohan's well respected around this part of Spain. They're a big fan, da-da-da. And then he goes and does that to Crivier on the last lap.
And then, funny you saying that, when they were on the podium, they were all just chanting Crivier, and you couldn't even hear the Australian national anthem.
Nah.
They were chanting over it, just going, just saying Crivier over and over and over again.
Even when he walked on, they were going, but he was just laughing.
Yeah, he was loving it.
Come on, keep going. But it was crazy. It's not in this clip. I'll try and find it for the video once it's done. They actually, obviously still on the track, they storm him through that last section as he's coming around the track.
I saw that.
So he's like...
He went onto the grass.
He had to go on the grass and like book it out of there because the fans were like running over to him, trying to get him and shit. So...
Man, it's amazing.
You know, it was just absolutely unreal. And that's racing. Like, it's the ultimate...
Yeah, but there was nothing unfair about that
No,
move.
nothing at all.
You would say that Rossi's move on... Gibernau was worse than that.
Oh, 100%.
There's worse moves almost every round these days than that.
So he didn't get ridiculed or anything for that move. It's not known as him punting him off.
No, it's just like the fans crap.
The fans fucked it for Crivier.
And that was the thing.
Exactly right.
Crivier was so fast through that last sector too. That's where he was pulling away from doing.
Exactly. He would have won that. If the
what
fans
did
didn't
Crivier do in his career?
He won a title.
He won a title.
He did?
Yeah. 99.
99, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
First Spanish rider to win a Premier Class title.
I think you might be right.
I'm pretty sure he is.
No. Nieto won
a 500.
Oh, what was it back in the day? Like when Ago won his titles.
No.
Surprised it took that long. Like we look at the Spanish domination now. I'm surprised it took so long for.
It was heavily American,
American
Australian dominated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy. Like, you know, unreal. And then Doohan went on such a golden run after that. I've got it up here. He where is it? He won the next like 3 races after that. Then a second, another first. He basically was on the top 2 steps for all the races up until Australia, where I'm pretty sure Crivier punted him off the track. Bit of payback, and then Caparossi would come in and win.
Your boy.
I think that was his first.
Pino would have been down there with the flag.
100%, yeah.
That's actually cool. That actually would have been a cool race to go to because there's a lot of Italian Australians are into MotoGP. It would have been cool to see Caparossi win down there.
Yeah, 100%.
Because actually that wasn't at Phillip
Eastern Creek, maybe?
Eastern Creek. Because they went to Phillip Island, then back to Eastern Creek, and back to Phillip Island. It was
Eastern Creek.
Because Lindsay Fox bought the Phillip Island track and then redid it. I think 97 was the first race.
I know the government wanted it back.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's crazy. And another thing I noticed as well was when Beatty went down, his bike was on fire.
Yes.
And they just had like a yellow flag, and it was people on the track, they didn't know what to do, and then they were just all still going 100% fast.
Crazy,
like no safety protocols, nothing.
That's the best though.
That's how it should be, honestly.
So, and leading to that race, there was 3 different winners in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah,
so
that's
I was
right.
like, you know, Crivier's going to be the 4th winner. It's going to be an awesome season. Because I think Catalora won the opener in Malaysia. Doohan won in... where did he win? I've got it up here again.
There's actually a clip of Doohan versus Croulier at the at the 1996 Australian MotoGP.
There you go.
So we'll have to clip that in.
We'll clip it in. But yeah, then Doohan in Indonesia, and then Abe in...
Norifumi.
In Japan, who ended up high-siding that Jerez race. Pretty gnarly. Like, man, even... Crivier's high side, you can just see they go to tap the power on those things, and they're and different beasts.
You can't. Yeah, you got to obviously respect the throttle on those things, because they will. Yeah, if you're offline or just put the power on too much, there's no traction control. Plus, the safety, the leathers, boots, is nothing like how it is now. It's just like a bit of leather over here, where maybe they had a back protector. I'm sure probably back then.
Yeah, they would have.
But nothing as good as now. No airbag technology. The helmets are nowhere near.
When did airbags start coming in?
I think it was compulsory from 2013.
I think you're right. I think they had obviously were testing it beforehand.
2007.
Yeah.
And then 11 it became if you wanted it, and then I think 13 compulsory. Yeah. But it just, like you said, it's crazy. They just ran like basically like those real old school just leathers, like with the Alpine style boots. Everyone wore Alps boots.
Yeah.
The gloves had no
there was
like
just,
knuckle protections. It was just padding,
leather.
like it was just leather gloves.
I know.
You know, helmets were all just bowl shaped, like nothing like what we've got up there. You know, all the
and no aero.
No aero. But man, the bikes were just unreal.
Yeah.
And even like, you know, what freaked me out It was just the way that the riding style, like the way those guys rode.
Yeah.
How different it is to the way they ride these days.
Yeah.
Like it's not super far off. If you look at it properly, they're really hanging off those bikes, but the top half of their bodies just ride over it.
And that's like a motocross style.
Yeah.
That's where it all comes from, like speedway and motocross, where they are hanging off they're kind of hanging off the bike. You're just turning left, you kind of leaning right.
That's right.
Yeah, like you look at Martin's style now. He's got to be the furthest over.
I know his shoulders just about on
every corner, almost. Like you might get the shoulder down once in a season back in the day. Now it's like every corner for him.
Well, the first person that really probably would have pioneered that style would have been Lorenzo. He probably would have been the closest to getting his shoulder down. And then obviously guys like Marquez come in and
definitely the Spanish influence.
It's a big influence now. Like they're just dominating it. And they have been. But they're obviously massive fans. Like you can see it from back there.
Yeah. And like I said, we'll try and clip it in. There was one piece of footage and there was not an empty spot of grass or there wasn't an empty seat line.
Yeah.
Just nuts back in the day. So
and that's just the heyday of how the turntables have turned. But that's the heyday of Japanese riders. If you look at the field, there is a ton of Japanese riders through the whole 500s to 125s and manufacturers. It's really all Honda and Yamahas. You know, look, top 10 is Honda and Yamaha.
It's crazy,
that race.
Crazy. It was just unreal. And like I said, I couldn't believe there was 4 Repsol Hondas.
Yeah.
You know, there was 4 3 Marlboro... No, there was, 4 Marlboro Roberts bikes. So, Kenny Roberts was part of that. And so was Wayne Rainey. Roberts had 3 of the bikes. Rainey had 1.
Yeah.
So, Caparossi was on the Rainey bike. And then Kenny Roberts Jr., Norik Abe and John Michael Bale were on the Roberts bike.
Crazy.
Unreal.
JMB.
And you know, one thing about Jean-Michael Bale. JMB. So he raced 500 Grand Prix, but was also an AMA and World Motocross champion. So he transferred from motocross to then race.
That's cool. How many in history has done that?
I don't know.
It would almost just be him.
I don't know. We could be wrong, but I don't know anyone else that's done that.
Different discipline, isn't it?
So he was a 1991 AMA 500cc national champion, plus the 91 in the same year, 250. So he won the 250s and the 500s in the same year. So it's like going on to winning a 250 and a 450 now. And then was the 88, 89, 125, and then 250cc world champion. It's just... And won the Supercross as well. 91 Supercross on the 250s. Crazy. And then went over to 500s.
Because he could.
Yeah, just cause.
Yeah.
That dude must have some of the best...
Is he around still? Like, have they... I've never heard of him in my life.
That's on the new segment next week. Where are they now?
Yeah, maybe that's...
We were supposed to start that this week, were we?
Yeah.
It's my turn for the flashback next week.
Next week, yeah.
It'll be an F1 one. I got to put some F1 into it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was my little one. I thought it would be cool to really throw it back, pre.
Yeah, nice. Like it.
I love it. Seeing those people on the track is so cool.
Yeah.
We've got to get there, boys.
Anything else, Jim?
Well,
yeah.
Or Dan?
Well, I was just going to say, speaking about JMB and all the accolades in the dirt
motocross
category. How are we going with the Lawrence
boys?
Yeah. He's trying to wrap us up, this guy. Still got 2 more hours, people.
Get out of the house, boys.
Alrighty. Motocross, Jett Lawrence. As you could probably imagine, he has won the title. Amazing. And gone 1-1, 18-0. So
when's the last time?
Nuts.
When's the last time that's happened?
What's that?
They've gone 18-0. Last time in history.
It'd be Bubba Stewart back in late 2000s.
Wow.
And Ricky Carmichael did it before him.
It is just an incredible feat.
Like,
think of one mistake.
Yeah.
One off weekend, one off race, because they have 2 races, obviously.
Or a bike breaking down.
Mechanical.
Yeah.
Puncher. Like, it's just incredible.
So he made light work of him in the second moto. Again, Chase Sexton caught him, tried to pass him in the first moto, and then crashed. And then Dylan Ferrandis was actually second. It was actually catching him all the way to the end. Just ran out of time.
No joke.
So, is he just taking it easy, though?
Yeah, probably to a degree.
Jesus, he's 80%. They're 105% because they keep crashing behind him.
I know. It's just to do what he's done. And he's won the world title, and have we heard anything about it? Won the AMA title, I should say.
I know, like...
And being undefeated in his rookie season.
I'm telling you, I'm not a news watcher at all, but nothing on social media.
Nothing on social media. Nothing.
God, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's a joke.
Yeah. So congratulations to Jett. An amazing.
But you know what? Effort. I bet you this is how crazy Australian media is. Like someone, obviously it's big at the moment with the Matildas getting into the semi-finals, but someone would have won like a table tennis championship in like Saigon or something, and that would be on the bloody sports show.
100%.
They look for these wacky stories. Like it's just, and we put a clip up about the Lawrence brothers. Oh no, sorry, the fitness of obviously the motocross boys, and man, did we get some comments, likes, like people are just dying to hear about it and dying to know what's going on. So,
they're being starved
100%. I mean, even I don't think I would ever watch delayed. I can't watch delayed sports. Has to be live for me. Like when I watch a Formula One race, I have to wake up in the middle of the night watch it. I really find it hard. But even if they put on like a Friday night at like 10:30 with the replay of the race or something, like people would watch it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they would.
Because it's cool to watch. Like and young kids would see it, like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
it's dangerous. It's different.
Yes. Well, awesome. Well, congrats to Jett. That's an awesome feat. And,
yeah, it's incredible.
And we wish you all the best.
Yeah.
Because you don't seem to like you're looking like he's going to get close to losing.
No.
Nah.
And how? I mean, man, barring injuries, I mean, there's not going to be that much technology changing in that sport. So
he's in his prime. Like he's only young. He's only his first year in 450s.
It's crazy.
And he raced 450 for 10 years.
That's the craziest part.
Yeah.
First year in.
Yeah. I know. It's nuts.
What a weapon.
How did his brother go?
Went 2-2 and was overall winner.
Older brother, by the way.
Yeah, older brother.
Yeah.
2-2 overall winner. Hayden Deegan, his main championship competitor, had a mechanical.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so he had an absolute shocker of a weekend.
The Yammy couldn't cut it.
Fucking goddamn YZs. So good for Hunter. I thought this was an interesting clip, just talking about his family and everything like that. Once we get over these technical difficulties.
Big picture, we're talking about 22 points here now in the championship. How does that sound?
I mean, it sucks. I was looking forward to it. Everyone was talking about, the pressure this, the pressure that. That's not pressure. I choose to do this. Pressure is when my family couldn't eat.
And he talks about pressure and pressure when his family couldn't eat. But I actually watched a video they just released, James Stewart interviewing Hunter, Jett, and his dad, and the sacrifices they had going over to Europe and the United States. And honestly, it's so hard for people, like if you want to make it, being in Australia or even being an American trying to get to Europe or vice versa. They were saying they had $8,000. I'm probably going to butcher some of this, but they had $8,000 and they had to make it last as long as they could. So all they would eat is like tuna and breadsticks, and then they'll know that's cost 60 cents or $1, and they have to just outlay it for as long as they can. They were saying like they can't even look at tuna ever again. And then, they were waiting for like a house to sell or something like that to get more money through or remortgage it or whatever it is.
It's seriously just do or die, isn't it? Like you have to risk it all.
But that's why these guys and those...
And they would have two kids.
Yeah.
Imagine 2 kids.
Yeah.
The 2 bikes.
Yeah.
2 fucking tires every weekend. Like it would have been a fortune.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't sound like they're from like that affluent family.
Yeah, well, that's right.
But wow.
So then that's why these types of people win, because they've got everything on their back. They don't have a get out clause.
Yeah.
So just say you're... and I'm sure there's fast kids, obviously, that have got super rich parents or whatever.
Yeah.
But when they don't have a get out clause, like they put everything into it.
They make it work.
Yeah.
Man, that makes that story even better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Put on fucking Channel 10. God.
Well, respect to the Lawrence family in general. That's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's fucking mad.
And I love that. Like,
it's literally come from nothing.
From
across
nothing.
the world. Had to go to Europe and then to the States.
I bet you there would have been some dark days, man, for that family.
For sure. Just for the parents just worrying financially on how they're going to do it.
And to both, like, it's crazy when you think about that. Like, it's normally when that situation, one kid misses out.
Yeah.
So for them both to be up there, one obviously dominating, the other one.
And the other one still won a Supercross title.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And about to win a motocross title.
It just, I mean, pressure makes diamonds, I suppose, isn't it? So,
yeah, that's exactly right.
So,
yeah, good on them. That's great. It's great to see. Big fans.
Man, it's awesome.
Big ups to the Lawrences.
Fuck yeah.
What a great way to finish.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Tips.
Yeah.
Boys. Austria.
Pretty quick, pretty simple. Pecco, Martin, Binder.
That's fucking good. That's good tips, mate. I'm gonna back Martin in again.
Man, that's my tip. I reckon Martin's gonna win.
I'm gonna Martin, Bags. Third's a fucking tricky one, man. Yeah, Binder. Yeah, I'm gonna be boring, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think Martin's gonna win. I got a crystal ball feeling. It's gonna be a big Martin weekend.
Yeah, nice.
You reckon he'll do the double?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about sprint races, and they actually don't. They
don't correlate.
They don't correlate.
Nah.
And how many? Like at the start of the year, we're like, oh, fucking Bags won the sprint race at Austin, was it? And like, or did he crash maybe? But it was interesting. Like I thought they were going to be a very similar result all year, but they're not.
No.
I'm going to go for Martin, Bags, and Oliveira.
I had Oliveira.
That's a good shout
for the weekend.
How's the Aprilia in a straight line?
Mad.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I think Aleix will have a good weekend as well. So
Don't need to dash him up.
Yeah.
he might get some confidence out of that, the old man. How many races? 350 Grand Prix he's entered?
Nah, heaps more now.
Yeah.
He won on his 350th. Was
He
it
did.
350th last year in Argentina that he
That's
won?
right. Yeah, I knew it was 350 plus
He's on
some.
350, has he?
Yeah, I know, but Moto 3, Moto 2, bro.
Doesn't count, does
Doesn't
it?
count.
That's fucking crazy.
He'll be in Moto E next year.
Yeah. He'll get his 400th race in Moto E. And James will be like, oh, yeah, 400 races. But he doesn't call the Moto E world champion. So just
Moto 3, Moto 2 are
talk
world
about
champions.
talk about not correlating. So
You're fucking crazy. The only problem with Austria now is that chicane. I'm over it.
I know
Yeah,
it's so
it's
shit.
It has ruined that track a little bit.
But to play devil's advocate, you can understand why they've done it.
Well, no one died.
No, but fucking hell, Rossi
that's
nearly got
right.
his fucking head.
Man, that was fucked.
That's the biggest crash I think I've seen in MotoGP.
I remember watching that live.
Remember that whole weekend? It was COVID.
Yeah.
It was just like some crazy shit happened. I think.
There was a big Moto 2 crash that weekend.
Happy Cyrene fell off. He lost it.
On him again.
He lost it on the first corner. He was in the middle of the track.
Was his dad crying?
He lost in the middle of the track and his bike got hit.
I know.
Remember that it went up and over?
Wasn't that
Yes.
Bastianini that crashed?
Ooh, no, I don't think so. It was mid-pack. Bastianini wasn't.
I reckon it was Bastianini.
Oh, really? And then I think
that lost it, and then he's got.
didn't Vinales' brake fail as well?
Yeah, and he jumped off the bike.
He jumped off the bike.
Is it all on the same weekend, or they had 2 weekends in there?
No, they had 2 Austrian Grand Prix.
Let's say it was on the one weekend.
Yeah, but add a bit of mayo to it.
But that was the biggest crash I've seen. Was that one of Rossi and Vinales and
Poof.
scary.
All right, well, thanks, boys, and bloody enjoyable as always.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you in Austria.
See ya in Austria.
See yous.
Lederhausen.